When we go live, you're the first to know. Um, so we are just excited about that page. We get a lot of good information to share with you guys from that page. Hey, Shavonne. Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Welcome to Salon Talk Mondays. This is exciting. So we have with us today Shavonne Patterson, who is one of the Styles for Kids stylists. And
Hello.
say hi. And we have Anna Bonnick, who is one of the transracial adoptive moms who's in our community. And we are just excited to have both of you here today. So thanks for joining us.
Oh, of course. No problem.
It's my pleasure.
So I'm excited about these. And just so you guys know out there, we're going to be doing these every Monday. So you're going to hear different topics every Monday. We're going to be talking with transracial adoptees. We're going to be talking about adoption and hair. We're going to be talking with our stylists. We're going to be sharing so much information with you guys. So you don't want to miss these Salon Talk Mondays. You want to make sure that you are tuned in or you join our YouTube page because we are posting all of these on our YouTube page as a resource for you to refer back to. And so today, I just really felt like we need to talk about coronavirus crisis and how it's affecting and impacting all of us who are in the community of Styles for Kids and offer some hope and encouragement to everyone out there who's being impacted by this virus. Um, Before we start, I spoke with a mom today because we're following up with everybody. So if you have not heard from us yet, you will. We're going down the list, contacting everyone. But what she was saying is that some of the parents, I think, now realize they've been so heavily dependent on Styles for Kids. So now they got to get into those training classes. And we want to encourage you to do that. So we're offering all of our workshops online, virtual right now. So if you really need help, you want to make sure you get into one of our classes. We have a new trainer who's doing a phenomenal job. So you don't want to miss that. You want to make sure that you sign up for one of the classes that's taking place. But on to today, I have some questions for you guys. So we'll go to Shavonne first. Shavonne, in light of the coronavirus crisis, how has it affected you as a stylist of Styles for Kids? Let's just have a real talk about how it's affected you. And overall, how has this coronavirus affected you overall in general as well?
Well, as far as not being able to help those families in need, not to mention the kids that's used to this routine that they are now in progress of or has gotten used to, I find it difficult for them and me as well, just due to the fact that I'm not able to influence them. I started doing this again. Most of you know, and those that don't know, the reason why I started working for Styles for Kids is because I felt my calling was to influence children, whether the age of 2 to 22. And not being able to be there for them, just moral support or being able to get them to understand that everything will be fine. We all have those bad hair days or whatever the case is. And in this case, we really can't do much on the exception of now that we are offering the online resources. Now that we're able to do that, but you know, in some cases like me, I'm a touchy-feely person, and not being able to have physical touch or whatever the case is that's difficult for me. So, you know, that's the most difficult part.
Yeah, it's
Now, as
difficult
far as
for
the
me too. So
financial
I'm
part
right with
goes,
you. Yeah.
right. So, but as far as the finances go, it is kind of difficult. It's still kind of difficult for me because I can't do what I'm doing for my livelihood just based off of this unfortunate situation. But I will be okay. I have dealt with another catastrophe or a tragic situation before. So
Yeah, can you share a little bit of that? Because I don't think a lot of our clients out there know that you have lived through another disaster.
Oh yes, I have. So those that don't know, I am a survivor of Hurricane Katrina, which occurred 15 years ago. It'll be 15 years in August. And I was a person who was actually there experiencing everything. I got rescued, all of that. And I had to come back home and get right back to work like nothing happened. So I know how this is or how it feels to have to deal with this situation mentally, spiritually, physically, all of that. So I will say that again. I will be fine. I'm a very faithful person. So yeah.
And what I want to add to that out there is that everybody knows that I'm a glass half full person. So we will get through this.
Oh,
Right
absolutely.
now, when we're in the midst of it, it feels like a nightmare, right? It feels like we're actually living in a dream. It's like tomorrow we wake up and we're like hoping that it's all gone away.
It's almost like a movie. Like
Yes.
movie.
It's like we're living through this movie that just seems to be going on and on and on. And there's no really feasible solution that's in sight yet.
Right.
But one good thing is that as long as we have hope and we keep hope alive, guess what? Good things happen. But when we lose hope, that's when that negative energy starts to reproduce itself out there, and we don't want to do that. So that leads us to Anna.
Hi,
Anna, you are
so much. I miss you both so much.
yes, we miss you too. We miss everybody. But I want you to share from the perspective of a transracial adoptive mom what it's been like for you and for your daughter since this whole shutdown has happened. How has it impacted you? Not only like physically not being able to come, but like what is the emotional part that kind of comes along with that, with the connection that you have to the community?
Well, for us, gosh, there's so many dynamics at play. Well, most obviously, for us, it's been a long time since we've been able to get to the salon. One of the hugest benefits for us in coming to Stylist for Kidz, I had a base understanding of how to care for my daughter's texture prior to being able to be wonderfully connected with you all. And so I was able to do simple styles, like, you know, twists and puffs and whatnot. But in terms of truly protective styles, that was something that was really out of my scope. And so what was really helpful for me was setting up every 3 to 4 weeks, having appointments with you all, and the way that it was able to really nourish and nurture my daughter's hair was amazing. And not only was it a point of pride for her because we were able to do so many styles that I wasn't able to do, but it was also just helping care for her health and also care for her well-being while being connected with all of you. For her, the routine of coming to the salon and being able to connect with you all and you know, we were really lucky to be able to form what I feel is really tight-knit relationships with you. She doesn't have that light in her life, being able to have that physical connection with you. That's been something we've been really missing. So that's been difficult. And so now we've gone back to me taking care of her hair primarily, or not even primarily, that's it. And so we've been going back to kind of our old routines, pre-styles for kids. And I think that we're managing, but I'm definitely missing being able to just know that her hair is as well cared and protected. I do definitely feel like there's definitely a point that I'm feeling where I just like that I'm not enough. And I think that was one of the things that I felt with connecting with you all, was that I just didn't feel as alone when I was able to be connected with you on so many levels, right? Because I just so enjoyed being in the salon with you, right? It, like, even selfishly, I just love the relationships I have with you that we've cultivated, but I also feel like, you know, in parenting my daughter, it takes a village mantra, you know.
It does. It takes a village. It really does.
Yeah. So that's something that we've really I'm finding moments of just not feeling enough in terms of her hair. And so I am just telling myself that this is not forever, that I've already learned so much, you've taught me so much, you know, and so just really just trying to rely on that.
And what advice would you give to other moms out there who are at the same place where you are, where they're like, oh, Scout Kidz, what's happening in my world? Like, what encouragement would you give them right now? And then Shavonne, after she answers, you could go next.
I feel lucky that I feel such a comfort with you that any questions that I have, I feel I could easily reach out and know that you'd get back to us, you know, because you have such a vested interest in the health and well-being of all the kids.
Yes.
That's been obvious from the very, very first time that I've met both of you and with all the stylists. So, so I feel that safety factor, that if we're in a jam, that we can reach out. But I mean, we've really just kind of been tapping in on what we've been doing, you know, in the past in terms of wash days and just trying to keep her hair in some sort of simple style. So
yes, and you said the key right there, Anna. Keep it simple. Don't try to overcomplicate it for yourself. As long as you are washing and conditioning and moisturizing and keeping it out of the way, you are doing great. And you need to encourage yourself. Would you agree with that, Shavonne?
I do agree. One thing's for sure. What I was going to say to you, Anna, is don't give up as far as your confidence goes. You have to remember that you learned. And, you know, based on what Tamika and I and other stylists have seen, as far as your simple, natural, you know, styles, that you're doing perfectly fine. You have to just continue to, just continue to be confident within yourself. Even though, and we're stylists, there are moments where we feel like our hair is acting up and I can't do what it is that I want to do to my hair. So sometimes I get frustrated and I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. And, you know, I might just go on by my day and just kind of like do something to it. But then after a while, once you just relax and you realize that, again, like you said, this is not going to happen forever.
That's right.
But she's going to continue to have hair on her head forever. So you just have to just stick with what you're doing and just remain confident. Again, it happens. We all get frustrated. I mean, it's a lot of hair.
Yes.
You know, especially in its natural state. So it does. It becomes overwhelming in this situation that we're in, that we're all experiencing. This is just an overwhelming time period anyways. So you just have to relax, take a deep breath, and just say, okay, let me take my time, you know, give Elise time as well, because it becomes frustrating with her as well, because you have to comb her hair. And eventually when she gets older, she's gonna have to comb her own hair. So you know, if when she sees you in your moment of frustration and she sees how you handle it, when she grows older to do her own hair, then she'll be like, well, my mama, she combed my hair and it was frustrating and she got through it. She was calm. She wasn't fussing. She wasn't doing any of that. And we got through it. Once she gets older, then she's able to do the same thing. She's able to cope with the fact that this has to happen right now. I can't go outside with my hair all over my head. I have to do this in order to be healthy. In a matter of having healthy hair, because if your hair isn't healthy, that means your scalp isn't healthy. If your scalp's not healthy, your skin not healthy. So it just trickles down, and then it becomes something that you have to deal with mentally. So just continue to do what you're doing and just relax, take a deep breath, you know, deal with that frustration at that moment. Don't let it linger, and you'll be fine. And that goes. And
hair time is not the time to be talking about an educational program. Let them
That's right.
That's have their entertainment.
Yes.
All distractions are good.
Yes. You know, and it's a bonding moment. At the time you all are giving your children the opportunity to see you frustrated. I mean, it's a lot of times as parents, I'm not a parent yet, but I do have nieces, and they have to have that opportunity to see that TT gets upset as well, but TT doesn't stay upset. TT deals with whatever's going on, whether it's hair or or COVID-19. I deal with it, cope with it, and I have to move on, or I have to figure something out to make sure that, okay, this is what needs to be done. I'm gonna do it so I can move on to the next thing. I'm not gonna just let it linger and just let it sit and become, you know, so overwhelmed to the fact that I can't do anything about it. So, you know, you all are just giving your children the opportunity to see that you're human also.
Absolutely.
So just continue to remain confident, and you'll be fine.
And entertainment and snacks, you guys.
Yes. You can. I mean, even though we all are just sitting around eating, because that's all we really can do. But just let them do it, because they're gonna do it anyway. Yeah. So why not, you know, have hair time? Say, here, girl, eat you some grapes. You can have some bananas, strawberries, even some ice cream. Here you go.
Yes.
And then
ice cream. Oh, this is a funny story. She's gonna kill me for telling this.
Yeah.
But we have one client, I promise you, every time we've done a house call, it's like the never-ending popsicle train. It's like, oh, you want another one? You want another one? Okay.
Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Forgive me for telling that, but it's so funny, but it works. It works.
Yeah.
Popsicles work, you guys. I'm trying to give you some practical things.
Or if the child has something like a blankie, for children too, their bees, you know, whatever it is that allows the child to become calm, do that. If they, you know, even if in some cases, some moms, some dads don't allow their children on electronic devices, let them have the phone. Let them see the phone for a little while. Let them see the iPad for a little while. I mean, in this case, this is something that you should allow them to do. Some things that they are not allowed to do, you know,
make
just
it special.
Regular basis.
Yeah.
Right. This
is
a special time. It's a time for there are other children involved. Play games as the child is there. You guys can play hot potato or something like that.
And you can let them be
as a
involved in
family.
the process, you know, let them try,
That's
you know, combing or
yeah.
brushing their own hair like during that time, you know, and make it fun.
Right,
Let them
right.
practice
A lot
their
of the
hair.
time.
I know, Anna, you've done that.
Right, right, right. So moms, in some cases, if a child sees their mom get their hair washed, or if you allow your child to wash your hair or comb your hair,
Uh-oh, we lost her for a minute.
they're upset, or you're crying, then they'll make them sit a little longer and say, hey, my mom wasn't crying when I was combing her hair. She wasn't crying when I was washing her hair or wetting her hair, or whatever the case is. Then I can do the same thing. Again, this is a bonding experience, and it's also allowing the children to see that you are human just like they are. You're just older. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we're going to wrap it up. Do you guys have any last minute comments or advice that you want to throw out there before we wrap up?
Oh gosh. Advice.
Yeah, to anybody out there who might be just feeling like this is just never going to end. I had that thought earlier. I had that thought earlier and I had to immediately dismiss it.
Well, you know what? Because it feels like that. I was sitting on the couch watching TV, and I was like, well, this is not normal for me, because normally I don't even watch TV. And the fact that I'm sitting here watching TV, yeah, I need to get busy soon, because, yeah. So I said, you know what? Right. My friend called me and she said, hey, let's go and work. I was like, oh, okay, let's do that. Let's go and work. I walked around Oak Park for 2 hours. I came home and I was okay. So my advice to you moms are just continue to stay positive, because when you are positive, you bleed positivity into the world, and then it comes back to you. Keep a smile on your face, even when you don't want to smile.
Yeah.
Because again, remember, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile. So keep that smile on your face, and you will be okay. This will end just like any other thing that we've had to deal with in the past, and maybe even in the future.
Yes, and frowns will make wrinkles. We don't want wrinkles.
Oh yes, and we don't want to have old faces too soon.
Well, I actually wanted to make a point too. The thing that I've been focused on, so my daughter's in 3rd grade, and so she's in the midst of remote learning. There's obviously been a whole lot of pressure from that, and trying to get it right. But a lot of our families, especially dealing either through foster care and elements of adoption, have some level of trauma that their children are dealing with. And so one of the things that I just keep coming back to is making sure that we're feeling as safe, and that Elise is, and my daughter's name is Elise, so that Elise is feeling as safe and connected as possible, and that as long as those two are, check boxes are checked, that that's the most important thing, that that whatever learning that we might be in the midst of, that she might be struggling with, or things that are feeling overwhelming for her educationally, that the most important thing is that she's feeling safe and connected. And I know there's a lot of other families that are out there too that are dealing with maybe some emotions that are coming up, or behaviors that maybe you thought that you'd move past and you're seeing them again. And there's I know there's a lot of families that are out there that are going through some really tough times with their kids, just outside of what we would have been dealing with in quarantine. So felt safety and connection are that would be the biggest.
Absolutely.
Anna, that was also $1 million. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Somebody out there who is
would.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, again, like you said before, Anna, before when we started, that you have some clients of ours that are connected to us in more of an emotional way. Feel free to give us a call if you need to. If that child needs somebody to talk to, or they're used to talking to us, it's not a problem.
We're
Give us
here.
a call and we are
Yes.
able to talk. Yeah, because again, we are all in this together. As you can see, we Zoom this situation because we have to practice social distancing. But in the same sense, like you said, mental health is very important, especially in the time that we are in now. So, you know, especially for our high schoolers, our high school clients, I mean, are going through the issue of from seniors not being able to experience that special moment where they get to go to prom, dress up, walk across the stage, to have that big smile on their face, to make the families proud. Just allow your child to know how proud you are of them for even making those special moments, for passing the grades. And so just if any child needs help or wants to talk, or they are more than welcome to give us a call.
Yes, that is so good. Ladies, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. We're going to be right back here next Monday, live on Facebook, for those of you out there who need support, who are remaining hopeful instead of hopeless. We're here.
That's right.
And so we'll talk to you next Monday. Thank you, Anna, for joining us. Thank you, Shavonne, for joining us. And this recording will be posted on our YouTube. So if you're not subscribed to our YouTube page and you're not following us, you want to make sure you go and do that right now so you will not miss the opportunity to see these lives. All right, you guys, have a great
Yes.
day.